What if I told you that the reason money seems to slip through your fingers is because you've never properly introduced yourself? Have you ever noticed how some people seem to effortlessly attract wealth while others work twice as hard yet struggle to make ends meet? The difference might not be what you think. It's not about education, connections, or even luck. It's about something far more fundamental: your relationship with the energy we call money. Has this ever happened to you? You receive your paycheck feeling momentarily abundant, only to watch it disappear within days, leaving you wondering where it all went. If so, you're not alone. Millions of people worldwide experience this same frustrating cycle, but today we're going to break it together. But before we begin, please hit the like button and let me know where in the world you're watching from today. It's always fascinating seeing who's joining us from around the world, and if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future videos. Now, what I'm about to share might surprise you because it goes against everything conventional financial advice teaches. You see, money isn't this distant, mysterious thing floating in the universe, waiting to be earned only by the lucky few. Money is energy, living, responsive energy that hears you, feels you, and responds to how you communicate with it. Just like plants grow differently when spoken to with love versus indifference, your financial reality shifts based on how you address the currency flowing through your life. When you understand this principle, that money is a form of energy that reacts to your relationship with it, you can begin transforming your financial situation almost immediately. Stay with me until the end, because I'm going to show you something revolutionary that Joseph Murphy discovered decades ago, yet most financial advisors will never tell you. It's about calling your money by name, so it actually comes when you call it. I know what you might be thinking. Call money by name. What does that even mean? I've heard the skepticism before, but this isn't about begging, wishing, or hoping for money to appear. It's about establishing a conscious connection with the energy of wealth, recognizing it as something that can hear you and respond to your vibration. Everything in this universe operates on frequency. The chair you're sitting on, the device you're watching this on, and yes, even the money in your wallet, all vibrating at specific frequencies. And here's the crucial part. When the frequency you emit aligns with the frequency of abundance, something magical happens. Doors open, opportunities appear, resources flow. But most people are unknowingly broadcasting on the scarcity channel, sending out signals that push money away rather than draw it closer. They speak to their finances with fear, frustration, and even hostility. And money, being the responsive energy that it is, simply obeys by staying away. What if I told you that by changing how you speak to money, you could completely transform your financial reality? Not through complicated investment strategies or side hustles, but through something much more fundamental, a shift in your energetic relationship with wealth itself. If you found value in these prosperity principles, hit that subscribe button now and join our abundance community. Every video brings new insights to transform your relationship with wealth. The ancient wisdom traditions understood this concept, and today we're going to explore how this hidden truth about wealth can trigger a profound transformation in your financial reality. When we look at the world through the lens of quantum physics, we discover something remarkable. Everything, including the money in your bank account, is fundamentally energy vibrating at specific frequencies. This isn't some mystical concept. It's scientific reality. The cash in your wallet, the numbers in your account, the opportunities that come your way, all of these are energy forms responding to the frequency you emit. This revelation changes everything about how we approach wealth creation. When you habitually emit a frequency of lack, scarcity, or fear around money, the universe has no choice but to match that vibration. It's not punishing you. It's simply reflecting back what you're putting out, like a mirror that can only show what stands before it. Your mindset creates a blueprint that shapes your financial journey. Those unconscious mumbles when bills arrive, the tightness in your chest when checking account balances, the subtle language patterns you use. I can't afford that. Money always slips through my fingers. Rich people are just lucky. All of these send powerful signals to the universe about what you expect to experience. The impact of these signals extends far beyond your conscious awareness. When your internal dialogue consistently affirms lack, you literally become blind to abundant opportunities surrounding you. Your brain's reticular activating system, the filtering mechanism that determines what information reaches your conscious mind, only admits evidence that confirms your existing beliefs about money. But here's where the magic happens. When you deliberately shift that signal to one of abundance, I am a magnet for money. Wealth flows to me easily. I attract financial opportunities everywhere I go. The universe must realign to match your new frequency. This isn't wishful thinking. It's working with the fundamental laws that govern energy. Many people dismiss this approach because they've tried affirmations without results. What they don't realize is that your words and thoughts must harmonize with your emotions. Speaking abundance while feeling scarcity creates energetic dissonance, like trying to tune a radio to two stations simultaneously. The result is static, not clarity. The journey to wealth begins with aligning your complete energetic field, thoughts, words, emotions, and actions, into a cohesive signal that the universe can clearly interpret and match. When you achieve this alignment, seemingly miraculous shifts begin to unfold in your financial landscape. I've witnessed countless clients experience dramatic breakthroughs once they mastered this principle. Unexpected checks arriving in the mail, promotions materializing out of nowhere, business opportunities appearing at precisely the right moment. These aren't coincidences. They're the natural consequence of emitting a clear, consistent frequency of abundance. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic by sharing the practical technique that Joseph Murphy discovered, a method so simple yet powerful that it transformed the financial destinies of thousands who applied it. It begins with understanding that affirmations alone aren't enough. You need to establish a personal relationship with money by giving it a name and speaking to it directly. Before we explore this technique further, I'm curious, what's your current relationship with money like? Write in the comments, ready for a financial rebirth if you're feeling called to transform how you interact with abundance. The technique that Joseph Murphy discovered goes beyond mere positive thinking. It's about creating energetic coherence between your words, emotions, and subconscious expectations. Many people try affirmations, but experience disappointing results because they're missing this crucial insight. Words alone aren't enough. When you declare, "I am wealthy," while your emotional body is vibrating with financial anxiety, you create an internal conflict that the universe cannot interpret clearly. Imagine trying to drive with one foot on the gas and one on the brake. You'll go nowhere despite the engine running. That's exactly what happens when your conscious declarations contradict your emotional state. The breakthrough comes when you recognize that your subconscious mind, which drives 95% of your behavior and attracts your experiences, doesn't respond to intellectual concepts. It responds to feelings, images, and emotional impressions. This revelation transforms your entire approach to financial manifestation. Instead of mechanically repeating phrases that feel untrue, Murphy discovered a powerful shortcut to authentic alignment: giving your money a personal name. This might sound whimsical at first, but the psychological impact is profound. By naming your money, whether you call it Abundant Alice, Prosperous Pete, or even something playful like Mr. Cashington, you instantly shift your relationship with wealth from an abstract concept to a personal connection. This simple act creates a remarkable shift in your energetic signature. Money is no longer a distant force to be chased, feared, or worried about. It becomes a friendly presence you can speak to directly, welcome into your life, and build a relationship with. The naming process bypasses your logical mind and speaks directly to your subconscious, which thrives on symbolic emotional communication. The power of this approach lies in how it naturally aligns your feelings with your words. When you smile and say, "Good morning, abundant Alice. I'm so glad you're flowing into my life today," you can't help but feel a sense of warmth and expectation. That genuine emotional shift, even if it begins as playful, creates the coherence that makes manifestation possible. This technique has triggered profound financial metamorphosis for countless individuals across diverse backgrounds. One client who had struggled with persistent debt for decades named her money Faithful Frank and began greeting it each morning. Within 3 months, she received an unexpected inheritance that cleared her debt completely. The inheritance had been tied up in legal proceedings for years, yet suddenly resolved after she began this practice. What makes this approach so powerful is that it sidesteps the resistance and skepticism that often sabotage conventional affirmations. Even the most analytical minds can engage with it as a thought experiment and still experience its benefits. The subconscious doesn't distinguish between what you do in earnest and what you do in play. It responds to the emotional resonance regardless. The journey to prosperity requires this kind of authentic alignment between your inner and outer worlds. When your words, feelings, thoughts, and actions all communicate the same message about abundance, you create an irresistible vortex that draws wealth toward you. I'd love to know, have you already started thinking of a name for your money? Drop it in the comments with the phrase, "Money, meet my friend your name," so we can celebrate this first step together. Once you've given your money a name, the next illumination on this journey is understanding why most people's relationship with wealth resembles a dysfunctional romance rather than a nurturing friendship. Think about it. How would you feel about someone who only called when they needed something, complained constantly about your absence, panicked when you tried to leave, and barely acknowledged your presence when you were around? You'd likely keep your distance from such a person, wouldn't you? Yet this is precisely how most people interact with money. They stress when it's gone, fear when it's slow to arrive, ignore it when it's present, and feel guilty when they spend it. This dysfunctional dynamic creates an energetic repulsion that keeps abundance at arm's length. The blueprint for transformation begins with recognizing this pattern in yourself. Behind the scenes of your financial struggles lies this unconscious relationship dynamic that sabotages your prosperity. Money, like any energy, responds to how you treat it. It flows naturally toward those who appreciate, respect, and welcome it, and instinctively away from those who fear, stress about, or resent it. This revelation invites us to a profound mindset shift, speaking to money with the same warmth and expectation you'd use with a trusted friend who always has your back. One of the most powerful declarations Joseph Murphy taught was this simple yet potent phrase: "Money loves me, knows my name, and is always on its way to me." The secret lies not just in repeating these words, but in saying them with absolute conviction. Don't whisper your prosperity affirmations as if you're afraid the universe might overhear and punish you for your audacity. Declare them boldly, confidently, as if you're stating an obvious fact rather than a wishful hope. The impact of this confident declaration extends beyond mere psychological comfort. When you speak with certainty about your relationship with abundance, you literally alter the energetic field around you. The universe doesn't respond to what you want or wish for. It responds to what you vibrationally declare as your truth. I've seen this principle create dramatic turnarounds in the financial journeys of countless clients. One woman who had been struggling with persistent debt for years began declaring daily, "Money loves me, knows my name, and is always making its way to me." Within weeks, she received 3 unexpected payments from old clients, a tax refund she didn't know was coming, and a promotion she hadn't applied for. These weren't random coincidences. They were the universe responding to her new energetic signature. The decisions you make about how you'll speak to and about money create ripples throughout your reality. Each time you shift from "I'm broke" to "more is on its way," you're not just changing words, you're altering the fundamental frequency you're broadcasting to the universe. Ready to master the language of abundance? Subscribe now to continue your prosperity journey with us. We're uncovering these powerful techniques together, one video at a time. This practice becomes particularly powerful during times of financial pressure. When bills arrive or unexpected expenses emerge, most people unconsciously emit panic or resentment. But those who master this principle maintain their prosperity declarations with even greater conviction during challenges, knowing these moments are opportunities to demonstrate unwavering faith in the flow of abundance. The wealth consciousness you're developing isn't just about attracting money. It's about creating a completely new relationship with the energy of prosperity. What's one negative phrase you commonly use about money that you're ready to transform? Comment below with "I'm replacing your negative phrase with your new empowering declaration," and witness how this conscious decision begins shifting your financial reality. The declarations you make about money are powerful, but there's another dimension to this practice that Joseph Murphy discovered through years of working with thousands of clients. Beyond the words you speak and the feelings you cultivate lies something equally important: your physical relationship with money. I call this creating a money atmosphere, a tangible environment that signals to the universe your readiness to receive. Think about it this way: if you were expecting an honored guest to visit your home, would you welcome them into a cluttered, disorganized space? Would you have them sit on a chair covered in laundry or eat at a table piled with old mail? Of course not. You'd create an environment that communicates respect, anticipation, and welcome. Yet most people's financial spaces send exactly the opposite message to wealth. Their wallets are stuffed with crumpled receipts, torn bills, and expired cards. Their financial documents are scattered across multiple locations. Their money is treated carelessly, tossed into pockets, left in random places, or handled without attention. This revelation transforms how you interact with your physical money. Begin by literally cleaning your wallet or purse. Remove old receipts, organize your cards, and arrange your bills neatly with care. Create a specific place where you track your finances that feels orderly and pleasant. These seemingly small actions create a powerful energetic shift. They tell the universe, "I respect money and have created space for more to arrive." The journey to prosperity involves these tangible rituals that align your outer world with your inner intentions. When your environment reflects your commitment to a respectful relationship with money, a remarkable transformation begins to unfold in your financial landscape. Paired with this physical preparation is perhaps the most potent practice in Murphy's entire prosperity system: daily gratitude for the money already present in your life. For just 1 minute each day, preferably before bed when your subconscious is most receptive, take time to genuinely thank the money that's currently in your life, whether it's a few dollars or thousands. Say to your personified money, "Thank you, your money's name, for being in my life today. I'm grateful for your presence, for how you've supported me, and for all the ways you've blessed me. I welcome more of you tomorrow." This simple ritual works behind the scenes to rewire your neural pathways from fearing money's absence to expecting its presence. The psychological impact is profound. Instead of focusing on lack, which attracts more lack, you're deliberately cultivating appreciation for what's already there. This subtle shift in focus creates an entirely new energetic signature that the universe must match. You move from scarcity consciousness to abundance consciousness, not through force or struggle, but through genuine appreciation. I've witnessed countless revelations as clients implement this practice. One man who had struggled with boom and bust financial cycles for decades began thanking his money, which he named Prosperous Paul, each night. Within 3 months, his feast or famine pattern had stabilized into a steady, reliable income flow for the first time in his life. What area of your financial space needs attention right now? Comment "Creating Sacred Space" for name of your money, and share one action you'll take today to make your money feel more welcome. As you create this welcoming atmosphere for money and practice daily gratitude, you may notice an uncomfortable feeling arising, a subtle guilt or shame about wanting more wealth. This is one of the most powerful hidden barriers on the journey to abundance, and addressing it creates a profound liberation in your financial reality. So many of us have absorbed the toxic belief that loving money or wanting financial prosperity somehow makes us shallow, greedy, or less spiritual. This programming runs deep in our collective consciousness, often camouflaged in sayings like, "Money is the root of all evil," or "Rich people are unhappy." These beliefs create an internal conflict where one part of you desires abundance, while another part feels unworthy or guilty for wanting it. Joseph Murphy recognized this pattern in countless clients who unconsciously sabotaged their prosperity because they couldn't reconcile their desire for wealth with their self-image as good, moral people. His breakthrough insight was simple yet revolutionary. Money itself is completely neutral. It's neither good nor evil. It simply amplifies the nature of whoever possesses it. Consider this illuminating question. How can you help someone drowning if you're struggling to stay afloat yourself? How can you feed the hungry if your own pantry is empty? How can you support causes you care about if you're constantly worried about paying your bills? The truth is that financial abundance doesn't corrupt your character. It reveals and amplifies who you already are. A generous person with money becomes more generously impactful. A compassionate person with wealth creates more widespread compassion. Your values don't disappear when abundance arrives. They find greater expression. This mindset transformation removes the subconscious resistance that has been blocking your prosperity. Once you've released the guilt around desiring wealth, the next evolutionary step is shifting your motivation from fear to purpose. Most people approach money from a place of anxiety. I need money to pay bills. I want money so I don't end up homeless. I have to make more because inflation is rising. These fear-based motivations create a constricted energy that actually repels abundance. The universe responds to expansion, not contraction. When you declare instead, "I welcome abundance to create comfort, joy, and generosity in my life and others," you align with the natural expansive flow of prosperity. This subtle shift from fear to purpose creates an entirely different energetic signature that the universe can easily match. I witnessed this transformation in a client who had been stuck at the same income level for nearly a decade, despite working harder than anyone I knew. During our work together, she realized her entire relationship with money was based on avoiding her father's financial fate, bankruptcy, and foreclosure. Her motivation was pure fear. When she consciously shifted to welcoming abundance for the purpose of creating security for her children and supporting causes she believed in, her income doubled within 6 months. This wasn't coincidence or magic, it was alignment. When your desire for prosperity comes from a place of purpose rather than panic, you broadcast a completely different frequency. You move from pushing against what you don't want to being pulled forward by what you do want to create. Have you identified what limiting belief about money might be blocking your abundance? Share in the comments. I'm releasing the belief that you're limiting money belief, and feel the freedom that comes with this declaration. Let me share a powerful story that illustrates the next crucial element of this prosperity system. A woman once came to Joseph Murphy in tears, explaining that no matter how hard she worked, money seemed to flow through her life like water through a sieve. "Every time I get paid," she lamented, "something happens. My car breaks down, an unexpected bill arrives, or someone needs help. And suddenly it's gone. I'm always down to my last dollar." Murphy smiled knowingly and said something that changed her life. Money isn't leaving you. It's escaping the label you've given it. He pointed out that every time she received money, she unconsciously called it "my last money" or thought, "this won't last long." These weren't just innocent observations. They were powerful programming instructions that money faithfully obeyed. This revelation illuminates one of the most significant mindset shifts on the journey to abundance. The words you use to describe your finances become self-fulfilling prophecies. When you label money as "my last," you're literally programming it with an expiration date. The universe, which responds to your dominant thoughts and words, simply delivers the experience that matches your declaration. Together, Murphy and this woman created a powerful linguistic transformation. They gave her money the name Faithful Fred, and she began declaring daily, "Faithful Fred always comes back to me in greater amounts." This wasn't just positive thinking, it was recoding her relationship with currency at the deepest level. Within weeks, she received an unexpected insurance refund and a side job opportunity she hadn't even applied for. The catalyst behind these coincidences reveals the extraordinary mechanism at work in your financial reality. When your words, feelings, and actions align around a consistent message about abundance, life literally rearranges itself to match your new energetic signature. The universe cannot deliver experiences that contradict your dominant frequency. It can only reflect what you're consistently broadcasting. Most people create financial confusion because different aspects of their being send contradictory signals. They say, "I am prosperous," while feeling anxious about bills. They affirm abundance while clutching tightly to every dollar from fear of loss. They want more money while subconsciously believing wealthy people are unethical. This internal dissonance creates a jumbled frequency that the universe cannot clearly match. The breakthrough occurs when you achieve what I call prosperity coherence, all aspects of your being singing the same note of abundance. Your words declare it, your emotions feel it, your actions demonstrate it, and your beliefs support it. When this alignment happens, seemingly magical manifestations begin occurring in your financial landscape. I've witnessed this transformation repeatedly in my work with clients worldwide. One businessman who had struggled with feast or famine cycles for years began consciously eliminating phrases like tight budget, expensive, and can't afford from his vocabulary. He replaced them with, "I'm choosing to invest elsewhere, and that's not in my financial priorities right now." He also named his money Prosperous Patrick and greeted it daily. Within 3 months, his business secured its largest contract ever, with a client who, coincidentally, reached out after 4 years of silence. These aren't random occurrences, they're the natural consequence of energetic alignment. The decisions you make about how you'll speak to, think about, and interact with money create ripples throughout your reality. What limiting money label have you been using that you're now ready to transform? Comment below with, "I'm renaming my money," your money's name, and watch what begins to shift in your prosperity consciousness. This energetic alignment reveals another dimension of prosperity consciousness that most people completely overlook. The casual conversations about money that you have with friends, family, and colleagues. These seemingly innocent exchanges actually serve as powerful programming instructions to both your subconscious mind and the universe at large. Consider the everyday financial phrases that might be flowing through your conversations. Money is so hard to come by these days. I'm always broke after paying bills. I can't afford that. Or, everything is getting more expensive. These aren't just observations, they're declarations that shape your reality. Every time you utter these words, you're reinforcing neural pathways in your brain and broadcasting a specific frequency that the universe faithfully matches. This revelation transforms how you participate in daily conversations about finances. When a friend complains about the economy and automatically expects you to join the chorus of financial doom, you can compassionately listen without adding your energy to that narrative. Instead of saying, "I know I'm struggling too," you might say, "I'm finding that opportunities are showing up in unexpected ways," or "I've noticed money flows more easily when I focus on gratitude." These subtle shifts might feel insignificant in the moment, but they represent a profound transformation in your relationship with abundance. Each empowering statement becomes a brick in the foundation of your new financial identity. Each positive declaration sends ripples through your consciousness that eventually manifest as improved circumstances. One of Joseph Murphy's most illuminating discoveries was that your subconscious mind doesn't possess a sense of humor. It takes everything you say, whether in jest or in earnest, as a serious instruction for creating your reality. This insight explains why seemingly harmless jokes about being broke or poor can manifest as actual financial constraints in your experience. I remember working with a talented entrepreneur who constantly joked about being the broke creative type whenever the check arrived at dinner. She laughed about it, her friends laughed about it, but her bank account wasn't laughing. When we examined her financial patterns, she realized these innocent jokes were reinforcing a subconscious identity that was limiting her ability to charge what she was worth and attract high-paying clients. The journey to prosperity requires this level of awareness, recognizing that every word you speak about money carries creative power. Your offhand remarks, casual observations, and even your humorous comments are all shaping your financial blueprint. When you truly understand this principle, you become much more intentional about the language you use. This doesn't mean becoming rigid or humorless about finances. Rather, it's about redirecting your lightness and humor toward prosperity consciousness instead of lack consciousness. Instead of joking, "I'm too poor for that," you might playfully say, "I'm redirecting my abundant resources toward other priorities right now," or "my wealth is currently invested elsewhere." This awakening to the power of your casual money language creates a remarkable shift in your financial ecosystem. As you consistently choose words that affirm abundance rather than lack, you're essentially reprogramming the operating system of your prosperity. The neural pathways associated with scarcity begin to weaken, while new pathways aligned with abundance strengthen with each empowering statement. When someone asks you about your financial situation this week, what new language will you choose to describe it? Share in the comments. My new money mantra is your positive financial phrase, and commit to using it consistently in your conversations. As you become more conscious of your external money language, you'll notice something fascinating happening. You become increasingly aware of your internal financial dialogue as well. This brings us to a powerful technique Joseph Murphy discovered for dismantling limiting beliefs the moment they arise in your consciousness. When you catch yourself thinking thoughts like, "I always struggle with money," or "financial security just isn't in the cards for me," immediately interrupt that pattern with this simple but profound declaration: "That's not my story anymore." This phrase acts as a circuit breaker, instantly stopping the negative thought from gaining momentum and embedding deeper into your subconscious. This pattern interrupt creates a pivotal moment of choice, a sacred pause where you reclaim your power as the author of your financial narrative. In that space of awareness, you can consciously choose a new thought, a new belief, a new story about your relationship with abundance. This simple practice prevents old limiting beliefs from strengthening with repetition and creates fertile ground for new, empowering beliefs to take root. 1. Client who had spent decades believing she was bad with money began using this technique religiously. Every time that familiar thought surfaced, she would say aloud or in her mind, "That's not my story anymore. My new story is that I'm learning and growing in my relationship with abundance every day." Within weeks, she noticed herself making intuitive financial decisions that previously would have eluded her. This wasn't coincidence. It was the natural consequence of interrupting an old identity and consistently reinforcing a new one. The transformative journey deepens when you embrace another revelation that liberates so many from financial struggle. Money is not personal. It doesn't judge your worthiness, punish your past mistakes, or hold grudges about previous financial decisions. This insight creates profound freedom on your prosperity path. Many people subconsciously believe their financial challenges are somehow karmic punishment or evidence of personal unworthiness. They carry an invisible burden of financial shame that blocks the natural flow of abundance. The breakthrough comes in recognizing that money is simply energy responding to energy. It flows towards certain frequencies and away from others, without any moral judgment whatsoever. This means your financial rebirth can begin this very moment, regardless of your background, past mistakes, or current circumstances. Money doesn't care if you've declared bankruptcy, accumulated debt, or made poor investments in the past. It only responds to the energetic signature you're currently emitting. This truth liberates you from the weight of financial regret and opens new possibilities that previously seemed closed. I worked with a gentleman who had experienced a devastating business failure that cost him his savings and home. For years afterward, he subconsciously believed he was being punished and didn't deserve financial recovery. When he finally understood that money was simply responding to his current frequency rather than keeping score of his past, everything shifted. He began practicing the techniques we've discussed, and within 18 months had not only recovered financially, but exceeded his previous income. Your prosperity renaissance begins with this understanding. Your financial future is not determined by your financial past. You can alter your relationship with abundance starting now, regardless of previous experiences. The universe doesn't require you to serve penance for money mistakes. It simply invites you to shift your energy and watch as your reality transforms to match it. What past financial experience are you ready to release? Comment: I'm freeing myself from specific financial regret or mistake, and feel the liberation that comes with this declaration. This understanding of money as responsive energy illuminates another crucial dimension of prosperity consciousness: the specific language patterns that either invite or repel abundance. When you examine your daily vocabulary around finances, you might be surprised to discover how many phrases unconsciously signal poverty to your subconscious and the universe. Expressions like, "I can't afford it," "That's too expensive," or the casual "I'm broke" aren't merely descriptions of temporary circumstances. They're powerful declarations that shape your financial reality. Each time you utter these phrases, you're essentially telling the universe, "This is my story. Please bring me more evidence to confirm it." And the universe, being the faithful mirror that it is, complies with your request. The revelation that transformed countless lives in Joseph Murphy's work was the simple yet profound practice of substituting these lack-based expressions with language that maintains your position of power and choice. Instead of, "I can't afford it," which affirms powerlessness, try, "I'm choosing to invest my resources elsewhere right now," rather than, "That's too expensive," which focuses on separation from what you want. Say, "That's not in my financial priorities at this moment." These subtle linguistic shifts might seem like mere semantics, but they represent a fundamental transformation in your relationship with money. The first set of phrases positions you as a victim of circumstances. The second establishes you as a conscious creator, making deliberate choices. This shift in identity gradually reshapes your entire financial experience. One woman I worked with had the habit of responding to any suggestion of spending with, "I'm too broke for that." Through our work together, she committed to replacing this phrase with, "I'm redirecting my abundant resources toward other priorities." Within 3 months, she received an unexpected promotion with a 40% salary increase. The universe was simply matching her new declaration of abundance and choice. This linguistic evolution pairs powerfully with another prosperity practice that works behind the scenes to transform your financial reality: visualization during times of financial pressure. Most people, when paying bills or facing expenses, unconsciously visualize their accounts diminishing, their resources draining, their security decreasing. This mental imagery sends a powerful signal of lack to the universe. The pathway to abundance requires a revolutionary shift in this visualization process. When you write a check or make a payment, train yourself to immediately visualize new money flowing in to replace what's going out. See your accounts being replenished. Imagine unexpected income arriving. Picture resources flowing toward you rather than away from you. This mental practice maintains the energetic expectation of continuous abundance rather than increasing scarcity. I call this the prosperity circulation principle, recognizing that money, like all energy, thrives through movement. When you release money with gratitude and immediately envision more returning to you, you align with the natural rhythm of universal abundance. This creates a psychological state where you never feel depleted, only temporarily in transition between waves of prosperity. A client who implemented this visualization technique whenever he paid bills transformed his financial anxiety into what he called abundance anticipation, an excited expectation for the ways money would return to him. Within weeks, opportunities and income sources he couldn't have predicted began materializing in his experience. What empowering phrase will you adopt to replace a poverty expression in your vocabulary? Share it in the comments with "My New Money Language," your empowering phrase, and witness how this conscious choice begins shifting your prosperity consciousness. The visualization practice of seeing money flowing back to you connects beautifully with another dimension of prosperity consciousness that many overlook: the power of deliberately cultivating wealth emotions through music. Our neurological response to sound creates immediate shifts in our emotional landscape, which in turn affects the frequency we broadcast to the universe. Joseph Murphy discovered that creating what I call a prosperity playlist could fundamentally transform a person's financial vibration. Music bypasses your logical mind and speaks directly to your emotional body, triggering neurochemical responses that can either align you with abundance or push it away. Think about how certain songs make you feel instantly confident, joyful, or powerful. These emotional states are precisely the frequencies that attract financial opportunities. The revelation here isn't just that music affects your mood, it's that you can strategically use this connection to maintain a prosperity consciousness even when external circumstances haven't yet caught up with your internal transformation. By compiling songs that evoke feelings of success, celebration, confidence, and abundance, you create a powerful tool for recalibrating your emotional set point around money. I worked with a client who selected 10 songs that made him feel unstoppably successful and committed to playing this prosperity playlist every morning during his commute. This simple ritual created such a profound shift in his energetic signature that within weeks, colleagues and supervisors began responding to him differently. 3 months later, he was offered a leadership position that increased his income by 60%. The promotion wasn't random. It was a direct reflection of the confident, abundant energy he had been consistently embodying through this musical immersion. Behind the scenes of your financial reality lies another critical insight that liberates many from unconscious limitation, releasing attachment to how money comes to you. Most people unknowingly block abundance by insisting it must arrive through specific channels, a particular job, client, investment, or business venture. This fixation creates energetic constriction that prevents the universe from delivering prosperity through its infinite pathways. The universe is infinitely creative and has countless channels through which abundance can flow to you. When you focus exclusively on one route, you essentially tell the universe, "This is the only way I'll accept prosperity," which dramatically limits what can manifest in your experience. The breakthrough comes in shifting your focus from the how to the what, maintaining clear intention about welcoming abundance while remaining flexible about its delivery method. I call this the prosperity openness principle, the understanding that money often arrives through unexpected sources, surprising opportunities, and channels you couldn't have predicted. By releasing attachment to specific methods and embracing openness to all possibilities, you create the energetic space for financial miracles to unfold. A business owner I worked with had been fixated on securing one particular client, believing they were the key to her financial breakthrough. When she finally released this attachment and began affirming, "Money comes to me easily through expected and unexpected channels," 3 new opportunities materialized within weeks, none of which were on her radar, but all of which proved more profitable than the client she had been pursuing. This journey of prosperity consciousness invites a fundamental mindset evolution, from rigid expectations to flexible receptivity. What song makes you feel most abundant when you hear it? Comment below with, "My prosperity anthem is song title," and consider adding it to your wealth playlist today. This openness to multiple channels of abundance connects beautifully with another powerful prosperity practice Joseph Murphy discovered through working with thousands of clients, establishing what I call an energetic floor for your finances. This simple yet profound technique creates a powerful subconscious boundary that transforms feast or famine cycles into consistent abundance. Here's how it works. You consciously decide on a specific minimum balance that your accounts never drop below. You might declare, "My checking account never goes below $1,000, or "My savings always maintains at least $5,000. This isn't just a practical financial goal, it's an energetic declaration to both your subconscious mind and the universe about your minimum acceptable threshold for abundance. What makes this practice so transformative is that it establishes a new set point in your prosperity consciousness. Your subconscious mind, which ultimately creates your financial reality, begins to honor this boundary in remarkable ways. Unexpected income arrives just before you would breach this floor. Expenses mysteriously reschedule themselves. Opportunities emerge that maintain your declared minimum. I witnessed this phenomenon with a freelancer who had endured years of income volatility. Some months brought abundant projects. Others left her account nearly empty. When she established $3,000 as her absolute floor, the amount her accounts would never go below, something remarkable happened. Within weeks, her income patterns shifted. A long-term contract materialized that provided consistent revenue, Past clients suddenly returned with new projects. The universe was simply honoring the new boundary she had established. This boundary-setting practice works hand in hand with another powerful prosperity ritual that occurs at a moment most people associate with lack: paying bills. The average person emits powerfully negative energy when money leaves their accounts. They sigh heavily, mutter complaints, feel resentment, or experience anxiety. These emotional responses create energetic resistance that blocks the natural flow of abundance. The revelation that transforms this experience is recognizing each bill payment as an opportunity to maintain the cycle of giving and receiving that keeps prosperity circulating. Instead of focusing on money leaving, consciously shift to gratitude for what that money provides. When paying your electricity bill, say, "I'm grateful I have the means to keep my lights on." When covering rent or mortgage, affirm, "I'm thankful for this beautiful space that shelters and nurtures me." This gratitude practice fundamentally alters the energy you associate with outgoing money. Rather than creating constriction and resistance, you maintain a state of appreciation and flow. This seemingly small shift creates profound ripples in your financial ecosystem, ensuring that what goes out returns multiplied. A business owner I worked with transformed her company's finances through this simple practice. Each time she paid vendor invoices, she would express genuine gratitude for the services they provided and visualize more money flowing back to her business. Within 6 months, her revenue had doubled, not through complex strategies, but through this fundamental shift in the energy surrounding her financial transactions. These prosperity principles work together to create a cohesive relationship with abundance that remains stable regardless of external economic conditions. The journey to financial freedom involves these subtle yet powerful energetic practices that most traditional financial advice completely overlooks. What's the specific dollar amount you're now establishing as your energetic floor? Share in the comments. My new money floor is your amount. And watch how this declaration begins shifting your financial reality. The gratitude practice when paying bills connects beautifully with another powerful ritual that Joseph Murphy discovered creates remarkable financial transformation, what I call the daily money roll call. This simple morning practice sets the energetic tone for your entire day and creates a powerful expectation of abundance that your reality gradually aligns to match. Here's the revelation that changed countless financial destinies. The first few minutes of your day establish the vibrational template for what follows. Most people begin their mornings by checking news, often negative, scrolling through social media, triggering comparison, or immediately diving into problems and obligations. This unconsciously sets a frequency of stress, lack, or anxiety that colors their entire financial landscape. The money roll call ritual creates a deliberate interruption to this pattern. Before engaging with devices or external stimuli, take just 60 seconds to sit quietly and speak directly to money. Money, I know you hear me. You're free to flow to me through clients, ideas, surprises, and blessings. I am open to receive you in joyful and creative ways. This declaration isn't wishful thinking. It's establishing the energetic frequency that will attract financial opportunities throughout your day. A client who implemented this practice transformed her relationship with abundance within weeks. She had been struggling with inconsistent income as a consultant, but after committing to this daily ritual, she noticed potential clients reaching out more frequently. Opportunities she hadn't pursued somehow found their way to her inbox. Her financial landscape shifted not through complex strategies, but through this simple daily calibration of her prosperity consciousness. The money roll call works so effectively because it speaks directly to your subconscious mind during its most receptive state, those first moments of wakefulness. This creates a powerful blueprint that your deeper mind works to fulfill throughout the day. It's like programming your internal GPS for abundance before beginning your daily journey. This ritual reveals another dimension of prosperity consciousness that many miss: the critical importance of how you speak to the universe about money. Most people approach abundance with hesitant, tentative language. I hope more money comes, or maybe things will get better. Financially, these uncertain communications create equally uncertain results. The universe doesn't respond to wishful thinking. It matches the clarity and conviction of your commands. Joseph Murphy discovered that those who experience the most dramatic financial transformations approach the universe with the confident authority of someone who expects to be heard and obeyed. They didn't beg, plead, or hope for abundance. They declared it with unwavering certainty. Money flows to me easily and abundantly carries vastly different energetic weight than I wish I had more money. This insight transforms how you frame your prosperity declarations. You are literally the commander of your reality, and your words are energetic codes that shape your experience. When you speak with authority rather than hesitation, you activate a completely different universal response. This isn't arrogance, it's alignment with your inherent creative power. I worked with an entrepreneur who transformed his business by shifting from tentative financial hopes to clear authoritative declarations. Rather than saying, "I want more clients," he began declaring, "Clients are naturally drawn to my services in increasing numbers." The subtle yet powerful shift from wishful thinking to confident command created a 40% revenue increase within 3 months. What prosperity declaration will you speak with authority today? Comment below with "I command," your powerful money declaration, and step into your role as the conscious creator of your financial reality. These authoritative prosperity declarations become even more powerful when combined with the personalization practice we discussed earlier, calling your money by name. When you declare, "Abundant Alice flows to me easily and joyfully," rather than the generic "money comes to me," you create a profound shift in your subconscious expectations that ripples throughout your financial reality. The revelation that transformed countless lives through Joseph Murphy's work was understanding that this personalization practice isn't just psychological. It creates a fundamental neurological shift in how your brain processes financial information. When you give money a friendly name and identity, your deeper mind begins aligning with that new expectation, allowing you to notice opportunities that were always present but previously invisible to your awareness. This illuminates one of the most fascinating aspects of consciousness: the way your brain's reticular activating system filters information based on your beliefs about what matters. Of the billions of data points available to you in every moment, your mind only allows you to perceive what aligns with your existing beliefs about reality. This filtering mechanism explains why two people can encounter the identical financial landscape, yet have completely different experiences. If you believe deep down that money is hard to come by or financial struggle is my reality, your brain literally filters out evidence contradicting these beliefs. Potential opportunities, possible connections, valuable resources all become invisible to your perception because they don't match your underlying assumptions about what's possible for you financially. This neurological insight reveals why simply trying harder within your existing belief system rarely creates lasting prosperity. You can't perceive opportunities your brain has filtered out as irrelevant. The transformation occurs when you deliberately shift your fundamental beliefs about abundance, causing your filtering system to start noticing evidence of prosperity that was always present but previously screened from your awareness. I witnessed this phenomenon with a talented photographer who had struggled financially for years despite exceptional skill. Through our work together, she named her money Creative Kathy and began speaking to it daily. Within weeks, she reported a strange experience, suddenly noticing photography opportunities she would have previously missed. A conversation at a coffee shop led to a corporate contract. An old client reached out about a major project. A friend mentioned a grant she qualified for. These opportunities hadn't suddenly materialized. They had always existed in her environment. What changed was her capacity to perceive them, because her naming practice had shifted her subconscious filtering system to look for evidence of abundance rather than lack. This wasn't coincidence or magic. It was a natural consequence of reprogramming her perceptual filters through consistent practice. The journey to prosperity consciousness involves this fundamental rewiring of your attention and awareness. As you consistently personalize your relationship with abundance through naming, your brain begins seeking evidence to confirm this new perspective. The shift feels almost magical, suddenly seeing financial possibilities that were always there but previously filtered. From your consciousness, this perceptual transformation explains why two people can face identical economic conditions yet have radically different experiences. The person who has trained their brain to filter for abundance will perceive opportunities invisible to someone filtering for scarcity. Have you noticed opportunities appearing since beginning these practices? Share your experience in the comments with "I'm now noticing abundance where I previously saw lack," and celebrate this expanding awareness. This perceptual shift reveals another dimension of prosperity consciousness that transforms how abundance flows in your life, the emotional quality you bring to your financial practices. One of Joseph Murphy's most counterintuitive discoveries was that approaching money with playfulness rather than grave seriousness created dramatically better results for his clients. This insight contradicts conventional wisdom, which often treats finances as something solemn and stressful. Most people approach their financial lives like a high-stakes exam. They're terrified of failing. They furrow their brows when checking accounts, tense their bodies when discussing money, and carry a weight of anxiety around financial matters. This seriousness creates energetic constriction that literally blocks the natural flow of abundance, like trying to draw water through a pinched hose. The breakthrough comes in recognizing that money, as energy, responds much more readily to lightness, joy, and a playfulness. When you shift from desperate seriousness to relaxed delight in your money conversations, you create the precise emotional state where manifestation flourishes. Saying something playful like, "Money, I know you missed me, come on home," creates an entirely different energetic signature than anxiously affirming, "I need more money right now." I witnessed this transformation with a financial advisor who, ironically, had been struggling with his own abundance despite helping others manage wealth. His approach to money had become clinically serious: spreadsheets, projections, strict budgeting, with no element of joy. When he began introducing playfulness into his prosperity practice, saying things like, "Abundant Arthur, you better bring your friends this time," with a genuine smile, his entire financial landscape shifted. Within months, his client base expanded effortlessly and his income increased by 35%. This playfulness principle extends to how you handle the inevitable doubts and fears that arise on your prosperity journey. When scarcity thoughts pop up, and they will, as your brain has been programmed with limitation for years, most people either fight them desperately or succumb to them completely. Both responses actually strengthen these thoughts by giving them serious attention and emotional energy. The revelation that created freedom for countless clients was learning to literally laugh at these limiting thoughts. When doubt whispers, "You'll never have enough," respond with amused detachment. "Oh, there's that old scarcity story again. Cute, but not today." This simple reaction, a gentle laugh, a dismissive smile, instantly disarms negativity and prevents it from taking root in your consciousness. This response isn't about denial or toxic positivity. It's about refusing to feed limiting beliefs with the energy of combat or surrender. When you laugh at a fear rather than fighting it, you step outside its gravitational pull. You recognize it as an old program running in your consciousness, not an absolute truth about your reality. A client who had been battling financial anxiety for decades transformed her relationship with money through this practice. Whenever worry about bills or expenses arose, she'd literally chuckle and say, "There's my mind doing its worry thing again. Thanks for your concern, but Abundant Abby has this handled." Within weeks, her sleep improved, her creativity expanded, and new income opportunities appeared, all because she stopped empowering limitation through serious resistance. The journey to prosperity requires this emotional agility, the ability to maintain lightness even when external circumstances seem heavy. What's one financial worry you can begin laughing at today? Comment below with, "I'm laughing at my fear of your specific money worry," and feel the freedom that comes with this playful disarmament. This playful disarmament creates space for one of the most powerful practices in Joseph Murphy's prosperity system, speaking abundance consistently throughout your day. Many people approach affirmations as a one-time morning ritual, then unconsciously revert to scarcity language for the remaining 23 hours. This inconsistency creates mixed signals that confuse both your subconscious and the universe about what you truly desire to manifest. The revelation that transformed countless financial destinies was understanding that repetition is the language of the subconscious mind. Your deeper brain, which ultimately creates your reality, doesn't respond to occasional suggestions. It responds to consistent programming that eventually becomes your default expectation. This is why calling your money by name consistently throughout your day, morning, afternoon, and evening, creates such profound shifts in your prosperity consciousness. This repetition doesn't need to be mechanical or rigid. You might whisper to your named money while waiting in line at the store. You could sing a little abundance tune while driving. You might write a quick love note to your prosperity in a journal before bed. These varied approaches maintain a consistent signal that gradually reprograms your financial blueprint. A client who had struggled with under-earning for years transformed her income by setting phone reminders 3 times daily to connect with her money, which she named Magnificent Maggie. These brief moments of alignment, scattered throughout her day, created an entirely new relationship with abundance that eventually manifested as a business opportunity, increasing her income by 70%. The catalyst wasn't a complex strategy. It was simple, consistent reinforcement. This consistency principle extends to another dimension of prosperity consciousness that most financial advice completely overlooks: how you physically handle the money already in your life. Joseph Murphy discovered that the way you treat tangible currency directly reflects and reinforces your relationship with the energy of wealth. Each interaction with physical money is either strengthening your prosperity connection or undermining it. Most people unconsciously handle money dismissively, crumpling bills into pockets, tossing coins into drawers, leaving currency scattered or disorganized. These seemingly insignificant actions send powerful signals to your subconscious and the universe about how you value abundance. Would you treat someone you deeply respected with such casualness? The transformation begins with bringing mindfulness to these everyday interactions. Handle bills with care, straightening and organizing them in your wallet. Place coins respectfully rather than tossing them aside. Express gratitude when receiving money, even small amounts. These simple practices might seem trivial, but they create powerful ripples in your prosperity consciousness. A business owner I worked with transformed his company's financial flow through this practice. Alone, He began handling all currency with deliberate care, organizing the cash drawer with precision, and expressing appreciation whenever money was received. Within 3 months, his customer base had expanded by 40% with no additional marketing. The shift wasn't coincidental. It reflected his fundamentally altered relationship with the energy of wealth. These tangible practices create an embodied prosperity consciousness that goes beyond intellectual understanding. Your subconscious mind notices these physical demonstrations of respect and responds by attracting more experiences that match this new relationship. What's one way you'll show more respect to physical money today? Comment, "I honor abundance" by your specific action, and watch how this conscious choice begins shifting your prosperity consciousness. This respectful handling of physical money pairs perfectly with another transformative practice in Joseph Murphy's prosperity system, expressing genuine gratitude for every financial blessing that enters your life, regardless of how small it might seem. Most people reserve their appreciation for major windfalls or significant increases, completely overlooking the stream of small abundance expressions that flow through their daily experience. The revelation that shifted countless financial trajectories was understanding that the universe literally expands whatever you appreciate. This isn't metaphorical, it's a fundamental principle of energy. When you notice and express gratitude for finding a coin on the sidewalk, receiving an unexpected discount, or having a friend cover your coffee, you're sending a powerful signal that attracts more financial blessings to appreciate. Behind the scenes of this practice lies a profound psychological shift, training your awareness to notice evidence of abundance rather than focusing on lack. Most people have programmed their attention to spot problems, shortages, and financial stress. This selective perception creates a self-reinforcing cycle where they primarily notice what's missing rather than what's flowing in. Gratitude for small financial blessings rewires this perceptual filter, gradually training your consciousness to notice the continuous stream of abundance already moving through your life. This shift in awareness doesn't just feel better, it literally reshapes your financial reality by attracting more experiences that match your new focus. A client who had felt financially constricted for years began keeping what she called a prosperity evidence journal, writing down every instance of unexpected money, discounts, gifts, or free items she received. Within weeks, she reported feeling weirdly abundant despite no major change in her actual income. This shift in perception created the emotional foundation for larger manifestations that followed. A raise and promotion that materialized 3 months into this practice. This gratitude practice creates powerful momentum that flows beautifully into one of Murphy's most potent prosperity techniques, visualization before sleep. The discoveries of neuroscience confirm what ancient wisdom traditions have always known. The moments before sleep represent a unique opportunity for programming your subconscious mind when the analytical barriers of your waking consciousness are temporarily lowered. This twilight state provides direct access to your deeper mind, which ultimately shapes your financial reality. As you drift toward sleep, picture your named money joyfully dancing into your life from all directions. Feel the emotions of relief, safety, and empowerment that this abundance creates. Experience the sensations of having more than enough to meet your needs and share with others. What makes this practice so transformative is that your mind continues this programming work while you sleep. Your subconscious doesn't distinguish between vividly imagined experiences and physical reality. It accepts your visualization as an instruction for what to create. These nighttime impressions gradually reshape your expectations, which in turn reshape your financial experience. A business consultant I worked with transformed his income through this simple practice. After years of financial struggle, he began visualizing his money, named Prosperity Paul, flowing abundantly to him each night before sleep. Within 2 months, 3 former clients independently reached out about new projects, creating his highest revenue quarter ever. The catalyst wasn't complex strategy, it was reprogramming his subconscious expectations during these receptive pre-sleep moments. The journey to prosperity consciousness involves these subtle yet powerful practices that conventional financial advice never mentions. What visualization would feel most empowering for you to practice before sleep tonight? Comment below with "Tonight, I'll visualize your specific abundance image," and allow your subconscious to work with this blueprint while you rest. These nightly visualization practices plant powerful seeds in your subconscious mind, but another crucial element of prosperity consciousness often trips people up: their relationship with timing and results. One of Joseph Murphy's most profound insights came from observing why some clients experienced rapid transformation while others struggled despite using identical techniques. The revelation that changed countless financial journeys was understanding that prosperity consciousness requires a paradoxical combination of consistent action and detached trust. Most people approach abundance practices like impatient gardeners. They plant seeds of prosperity through affirmations, visualization, and naming, then immediately begin digging them up every few hours to check if they're growing. This anxious monitoring actually disrupts the very process they're trying to accelerate. Think about this wisdom from nature. A planted seed requires darkness, time, and trust to germinate. No amount of checking, worrying, or analyzing makes it sprout faster. In fact, constant disruption prevents the very growth you're eager to see. The same principle applies to your prosperity consciousness. It develops according to natural laws that aren't accelerated by anxious observation. This insight transforms how you approach your abundance practices. Instead of constantly checking your accounts for evidence or questioning whether the techniques are working, you simply do the practices consistently while trusting the invisible germination process occurring beneath the surface of your awareness. This patient trust creates the perfect conditions for prosperity to unfold in divine timing. A client who had diligently practiced prosperity techniques for months without seeing results experienced a breakthrough when she finally surrendered the need for immediate evidence. She committed to continuing her practices for a full year without expectation, releasing the anxious monitoring that had characterized her previous approach. Within 3 weeks of this surrender, after months of apparent nothing, she received a completely unexpected job offer that doubled her income. This experience illuminates another profound dimension of prosperity consciousness, understanding that financial breakthroughs often manifest precisely when you stop doubting the process. What appears to others as overnight success typically follows a period of consistent practice that suddenly crystallizes when a person finally releases skepticism and embraces genuine belief. Behind the scenes of these sudden manifestations lies what I call the abundance tipping point, that crucial moment when your conscious doubts finally surrender to your subconscious programming. The blessing wasn't waiting to be ready, you were. Your manifestation was always preparing to emerge, but doubt created resistance that prevented its full expression. I witnessed this phenomenon with a business owner who had implemented Murphy's prosperity techniques for nearly 6 months with minimal visible results. Discouraged but determined, he made a pivotal decision. I'll practice for 2 more years, regardless of outcomes, because this feels true to me. Within days of this wholehearted commitment, this release of doubt, 3 major clients contacted him, creating his highest revenue month ever. This journey reveals the transformative power of patience in prosperity consciousness. In a world that worships instant gratification, the willingness to trust a process you can't fully see or control becomes almost revolutionary. True financial transformation often unfolds in the space between consistent practice and peaceful surrender, doing the work while releasing attachment to immediate results. Consider this question. What if the abundance you seek is already in motion, moving steadily toward you through channels you can't yet perceive? How would that change your relationship with waiting? Drop a comment with, "I trust the invisible process of abundance," if you're ready to embrace this powerful perspective shift. This trust in the invisible process reveals another dimension of prosperity consciousness that often creates dramatic breakthroughs: the emotional quality behind your prosperity practices. Joseph Murphy discovered a fascinating pattern among clients who experienced the most remarkable financial transformations. They had shifted from mechanically reciting desperate affirmations to engaging in warm, natural conversations with their personified abundance. The revelation that changed countless financial trajectories was understanding that the emotional frequency behind your words matters infinitely more than the words themselves. Many people diligently repeat prosperity affirmations while internally feeling anxious, doubtful, or lacking, creating an energetic contradiction that the universe cannot clearly interpret. It's like trying to tune a radio to two different stations simultaneously, resulting in static rather than clarity. The breakthrough occurs when you shift from rigid affirmations to friendly dialogue with your named money. Instead of tensely declaring, "Money flows to me easily," while your stomach knots with financial worry, you might smile and say, "Hey, prosperous Pete, let's create something wonderful together today." This conversational approach naturally evokes the positive emotions that align your entire being with abundance. This shift transforms prosperity practices from mechanical repetition to authentic relationship. Your personified money becomes a friendly presence you genuinely look forward to connecting with, rather than a demanding discipline you force yourself to maintain. This emotional authenticity creates internal coherence that dramatically accelerates manifestation. A client who had diligently recited prosperity affirmations for years without significant results experienced a complete financial renaissance when she shifted to this conversational approach. Rather than robotically repeating phrases, she began having morning coffee dates with her money, which she named Abundant Amanda, chatting warmly about opportunities and expressing genuine appreciation for their relationship. Within weeks, 3 unexpected income channels opened in her life, creating the financial breakthrough that years of rigid affirmations had failed to produce. This conversational approach reveals a profound truth about manifestation that most traditional teaching overlooks. The universe responds to your emotional frequency far more than your verbal declarations. When your words, feelings, and beliefs all broadcast the same coherent signal, reality must reorganize itself to match this new vibration. Joseph Murphy's work with thousands of clients revealed this fundamental principle. Your external financial circumstances aren't random or disconnected from your consciousness. They're the precise reflection of your predominant thoughts, feelings, and beliefs about abundance. Your financial reality is quite literally the echo of your inner vibration, faithfully mirroring back your dominant expectations. This insight creates extraordinary freedom on your prosperity journey. If external circumstances are simply reflecting internal patterns, then changing your inner state inevitably transforms your outer experience. This is why the practices we've explored, and naming your money, speaking to it respectfully, expressing gratitude, visualizing before sleep, create such profound shifts. They're not magical rituals, they're practical tools for deliberately altering the inner vibration that your external reality must match. I'd love to know how this resonates with you. Share in the comments. My inner abundance creates my outer wealth if you're ready to embrace your role as the conscious creator of your financial reality. This understanding of your inner vibration as the creator of your external reality reveals the profound importance of how you close each day. Joseph Murphy discovered that the moments before sleep offer a unique opportunity to seed powerful prosperity commands directly into your subconscious mind. While most people end their days rehashing problems or worrying about finances, those who experience extraordinary abundance use this twilight state to affirm their authority over money. The revelation that transformed countless financial destinies was a simple bedtime ritual that takes less than a minute, yet creates powerful shifts in your prosperity consciousness. As you prepare for sleep, speak directly to money with calm confidence. Money, you know me. I call you forth with joy. You are my divine companion, my loyal friend. Wherever I go, you follow. This declaration isn't wishful thinking. It's establishing the fundamental relationship between you as the conscious creator and money as the responsive energy that serves you. This bedtime affirmation works so effectively because it bypasses the analytical mind and plants prosperity seeds directly in your subconscious, which continues processing these instructions throughout your sleep cycles. While you rest, this deeper part of your mind is actively reorganizing your perceptions, beliefs, and expectations in alignment with the prosperity blueprint you've provided. A client who had struggled with persistent financial anxiety transformed her relationship with money through this simple practice. After decades of ending each day with worry about bills and expenses, she committed to this bedtime affirmation for 30 consecutive nights. She reported that not only did her sleep quality dramatically improve, but unexpected financial opportunities began appearing in her waking life, a reflection of the inner work occurring during her rest. Now, I want to go even deeper into a dimension of prosperity consciousness that ties together everything we've explored: the embodiment of wealth consciousness in your daily conduct. Many people approach abundance as something external to acquire, rather than an internal state to embody. Joseph Murphy's revolutionary insight was that true prosperity begins with how you carry yourself, speak about opportunities, and make decisions in each moment. This embodiment isn't about pretending or fake it till you make it. It's about authentically aligning your demeanor, choices, and responses with the abundance you know is already yours. When faced with decisions, the person of wealth consciousness asks, what would someone who is financially secure choose, rather than what can someone with limited resources afford? This subtle shift creates an entirely different trajectory in your prosperity journey. The essence of this teaching is that wealth is primarily a state of mind that physical circumstances eventually match. When you consistently approach life with confidence rather than fear, generosity rather than grasping, and expectation of good rather than anticipation of loss, your external reality gradually reorganizes to reflect this inner stance. I witnessed this transformation with a teacher who had struggled financially for years. Through our work together, she began consciously embodying prosperity consciousness in her daily interactions, speaking with quiet confidence, making decisions from abundance rather than scarcity, and carrying herself with the gentle assurance of someone whose needs are always met. Within 6 months, she was offered an unexpected leadership position that nearly doubled her income. This wasn't coincidental. It was the natural reflection of her transformed inner stance. The journey to prosperity consciousness involves this fundamental shift from pursuing money to embodying wealth. The practices we've explored aren't just techniques, they're pathways to becoming the person whose natural state is abundance. What aspect of wealth consciousness will you commit to embodying today? comment below with, "I now embody abundance by specific change in conduct," and watch how this conscious embodiment begins transforming your relationship with prosperity. As we come to the close of our time together today, I want to thank you for joining me on this journey into prosperity consciousness. The principles Joseph Murphy discovered have transformed countless lives, and I truly believe they can do the same for you. Remember, calling your money by name isn't just a cute technique, it's a profound shift in how you relate to the energy of abundance. If these ideas have resonated with you, I'd love to continue this conversation in future videos. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications so we can explore these prosperity principles more deeply together. Each video builds on these fundamental truths, offering practical ways to strengthen your relationship with abundance. I'm genuinely curious, which of these principles spoke most directly to your current situation? Comment "Abundance knows my name" below and share which practice you're implementing first. Your journey might inspire someone else who's just beginning their prosperity transformation. If you found value in today's message, tap that like button. It helps more people discover these timeless principles that are often overlooked in conventional financial advice. There's a video right here that takes this prosperity consciousness even deeper, exploring how to maintain your abundance frequency during times of apparent lack or challenge. Click and continue with me over there as we build on everything you've learned today. Until then, remember, your money knows your name, and it's always finding its way back to you.